Wow. Hi. It was really hard for me to decide the title of this video. I wanted to call it How to Make Money as a Content Creator or How I Make Money as a Content Creator. No matter what I decided to choose in the future, this is going to be a little bit of both. I want to tell you about my experience, things that I chose, why I chose them. I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, but also I want to give you tips about things that you could/should do as a content creator in order to make money. But anyways, I'm going to try to keep it as short, as concise as possible by segueing into today's sponsor, which is actually one of the ways that content creators can make money. And this portion of the video is sponsored by Koji. Koji is the easiest way for streamers to sell digital products on social media, allowing you to add hundreds of monetization templates to your stream or social account so you can easily sell literally anything on social media. Your customers will be able to shop without being brought to complicated websites. You are able to sell services, physical and digital products. By customizing and setting up your storefront, your visitors can easily browse and purchase items without ever having to leave your Koji page. And on top of that, you get detailed analytics on your sales, just like a fully fledged online store. So check out the link in the description and start selling with Koji. All right, let me set the scene quickly about who I am and how I managed to become a full-time content creator for about 5 to 6 years now. Basically, I was born and raised in a developing country, and I came here when I was about 17. A family of awesome people took care of me until I had to move out 1 year later. Long story short, I didn't have a dollar to my name, so I started doing all sorts of jobs. My very first job was a very well-paid job, actually. I was a multimedia technician because I already had experience from my youth, because I've been working actually when I was like a teenager. Anyways, did a bunch of jobs, quit a couple of them, got fired at one of them. I used to think that if I learned as many skills as possible, I would be like a very valuable asset to any company, and I would find my dream job and that everyone would treat me right. And I realized that's not the case. I just couldn't work for anyone else anymore. So this isn't me bragging about anything, really. This is just me telling you that I used to be super broke. Like, I know how to be broke. I'm very good at it. During my last office job, I decided to take YouTube a little bit more seriously, basically, and come up with a plan in order to get monetized on this channel that you're watching right now. Initially, this was a channel that I created alongside my Twitch channel to post VODs and clips, but I quickly realized that VODs and clips just didn't work for me. All right, this brings us to the first chapter, the goals. What did I want? And when I talk about goals, I didn't think about necessarily like a salary. I didn't think, oh, I want to win that amount of money. I didn't think about any materialistic things. I didn't think, oh, I want a car and a house. None of that. My goal was basically the work environment that I wanted to be in. One big thing for me was I wanted to never have to get up early in the morning ever again, except for when I'm traveling. Another one was to be able to go on vacation whenever I felt like it and not having to ask anyone for permission to take days off. I wanted to be the one making decisions, basically having artistic freedom on every project that I do. And of course, at some point, I had to set up monetary goals, right? One thing that you need to know about me is that despite what everyone thinks, I think of myself as lazy, to the point where I would work more in order to work less. It'll make sense. I would rather work 24 hours just to make sure that I don't work 7 hours the next day. I'd rather quit a 9 to 5 in order to work 24 hours. But that 24-hour job, I know that 80% of the time I'm having fun. So that's it for the goals. I think it's really important that you think about the work environment. Basically, how are you going to spend your days for the rest of your days? So after those goals, I had to choose a platform that I wanted to express myself in and of course, eventually monetize. Now, for me personally, I did not start my Twitch channel, for example, for money because I didn't really know how much money people were making. I don't feel like people were making as much money as today. So being a big Twitch streamer, a full-time Twitch streamer was just not even in my imagination at this point. I was actually used to YouTube. I have another channel where I used to post stuff just for fun. I was like, I'm just gonna post, but I'm gonna be serious about what I post. I'm gonna stick to one niche, and I'm also going to try to be as consistent as possible. So my main platform was YouTube, which aligned really well with my goals of not having to work all the time, being able to travel and all that stuff. On top of that, the idea of AdSense money, basically someone watches your video and you actually get money from the ads that they watch, felt really great to me. It felt like I didn't have to beg anyone for anything, and basically if I made videos that people wanted to watch, the more money I would make. So for you, you choose a platform, you figure out how to get monetized on it, and you just go for that at first. You just go for that. A platform like Twitch, that would be very fast because that would be affiliate. So 3 viewers, 50 followers, stream 8 days, which is very different from Twitch partner because accomplishing partner doesn't necessarily mean you're making more money. The goal would be to reach affiliate and then to highly monetize your stream in order to make a living. For me, for example, YouTube, my first step after getting monetized was to try to earn minimum wage. If I could earn minimum wage with YouTube, to me, like my life is accomplished basically. So after picking the main platform, the other thing that I had to do is pick a niche. So to me, it came in naturally, right? I didn't have to pick a niche. The niche picked me. No, but seriously, I made this channel alongside my Twitch channel, started uploading clips and clip highlights. It wasn't working well. The thing is, I was learning how to become a streamer at that time, but the information was all over the place, all over the internet. That was before OBS Studio. It was at the times of OBS Classic. Streamlabs didn't even exist. I think it was called Stream Alerts or something like that. So it was very complicated to learn how to do everything that we do today. So I remember one of my first videos was how to set up alerts. And then I saw that that video had like 2,000 views overnight or something like that. That's the most views I've ever had in any video on this channel. And people in the comments were like, oh, can you explain how to do this? Can you explain how to do that? So I was like, okay. So I made more videos, and then there you go, we got monetized eventually. Now that I had my niche, I needed to pick a strategy to go with the niche. Turns out that I fell into the education niche and not the typical influencer niche, basically. So the plan had to be different. The thing with education niche is that people will come into your channel and watch your videos because they have a problem that they need solving. Once that problem is solved, they're gone, and most of the time they're gone forever. It's the good old creating content for the search bar, basically. The pros are you can make evergreen content. You can make videos that will get views for the rest of history. The cons are it's really hard to grow a community that is attached to you. So one day you're going to make a video on a subject that not a lot of people are interested in. Your views are going to be roller coasters. Oh, it's just like that. And just no one's going to watch it because no one find that information useful. But it is generally easier to make educational content because exactly people are looking for that. So SEO is going to be on your side, basically. All right, so when you have a niche, basically the plan that usually goes with it depends on the niche, of course. But in my case, I was using a couple of products. I was following a bunch of pages, and I realized that one page that I love so much was a page that sold lighting equipment for filmmakers, because I used to work in the film industry and stuff. But then I realized that their social media pages, they were creating tutorials too. So they were making tutorials, they were teaching about filmmaking to so many people, but at the same time, they were selling products that had to do with filmmaking. So they were getting a lot of views through their tutorials and also selling products to the same people who came to learn with them. Now, again, I was lucky. I had a huge background as a graphic designer. I decided, hey, I should set up a page where I can actually sell overlays. At first, they were all free, and then I would make some that took more time to make, basically, and those were something like 99 cents because I wanted to keep it as low as possible that I could possibly sell on whatever website I chose. My content, remember when I told you I was broke? My content had to do with basically broke people who want to get into content creation. And so creating overlay packs that were 99 cents was my way of giving to the community, basically giving access to professionally made overlay packs so that people could have Twitch channels that look great alongside all the Twitch tutorials on how to do this, how to do that. So it's something that worked really well. I started doing this in 2016, I believe. I started that's when I created my first overlay that I put up on the internet. And fast forward to now, in total, I've made 6 figures just by doing that. Yeah, selling my 99 cents overlays. I think I have one product that's $10. I think I have another one that's $5, and those are the most expensive ones. 6 figures throughout the years may not be a lot, but keep in mind that I would work on those overlays, put them up, and then just never touch them again. Maybe I'll make one video as a presentation of that product, and then I don't have to touch it again. It feels like true passive income. Now, it wasn't that passive because I still had to do troubleshooting for a couple of people, but this is where the videos really help. So it became a double-sided traffic. People who would find my overlay packs through SEO would ask me, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then I would send them to my YouTube. Now I was getting views because I was selling stuff, even though my goal was to get views first and then tell people to go buy my stuff. YouTube AdSense plus selling related products merged together perfectly. At this point in time, I'm about like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not a big YouTuber at all. Another thing that I used to do is freelance. Again, I have a huge background, motion designer, graphic designer, filmmaker, VFX artist. I do all of that stuff. So I was able to do pretty awesome starting soon screens and stuff like that for live streamers. And the way I got my foot in the door, and this is good advice right here, because there's a lot of upcoming motion designer and graphic designers like, yeah, but I don't have the public. Of course, my YouTube would help me because I have a lot of viewers, but I wouldn't even use that to promote it. What I did is I found a live streamer that I love a lot, The Running Man's, and I decided to revamp his stuff for free. Now, he donated to me a lot because he was very grateful, but the goal was to just do that for him. I really enjoyed his stream. I remember watching him for the first time and he told a story about a balloon and I just fell in love with his stream and I was like, hey dude, I'm gonna do that for you. He then got partnered and then he got even more popular. And then he posted one of my works on Reddit and that basically fed me, paid my rent for like a year, 2 years, 3 years. To this day, sometimes I get messages about, hey dude, like I saw you made the intro for the Running Mans, I want something like that, but I don't do that anymore. So freelancing, what I'm saying, is an option. I used to do freelance. I was making a little bit of money on the side. I quickly stopped doing that because it wasn't worth it anymore. The thing when you're becoming a content creator and you're monetized and you're starting to really get some passive income and things like that is that your value grows a lot. Your value, like your time basically, is gonna be worth a lot of money. I can sit down, work on a YouTube video for 2 hours, and then that's gonna pay all my bills for the rest of the month. Or I could take a freelance project for some new kid that has $80 max, and then I'm making motion design and he's not okay with it. He wants some changes, and that takes me a week of work where I'm working, I don't know, 3 hours every day on that one project. Quickly, it became not worth it for me. Freelance is great, but at some point you're gonna have to reevaluate the price of your time. So at this point, I was getting AdSense money, I was getting money from freelance, and I was getting passive income from selling digital products. I had over 1,000, I think I was probably like about 4,000 when I decided, hey, I find myself recommending products all the time. In the streaming niche, people buy products all the time. People are always buying tech products and stuff like that. So that's when I did two things. First, I decided to open up an Amazon influencer account, Amazon affiliate account, if you will. But I also decided, hey, with my background in filmmaking, I should probably do some tech reviews, tech that has to do with the same niche, streaming. But I need to film those things so that they look really good. And then hopefully other companies will see it and then they will start sending me stuff. And of course, I think my very first tech review was a Fifine microphone. They loved it. Other companies saw that. They were like, oh my God, this is great. Can you review our microphone? And one thing led to another. At this point, I was still giving like broke people advice, right? So I was like, hey, this is a cheaper brand and it sounds amazing and all that. But story for another time, I quickly realized that the community didn't necessarily like that. Anyways, Amazon affiliate. If you're on Twitch, for example, you find yourself recommending games or a specific controller. People are like, hey, what kind of setup do you have? Oh, you use this graphics card and blah, blah, blah. All of that should be affiliate in your description. Every time you recommend something, they're gonna go out and buy it and you're not making a cent on it. No. Make sure you have an affiliate link in there. Now, one thing I really want you to know is that I am not a fan of affiliate marketing, as in like, it's not something that I want to do for a living, basically. I watch all the videos on YouTube, like how to make money online, affiliate marketing, you open up a website, you do all that. I'm like, no, I really want to set it up and really not think about it. And I kind of like Amazon's system with that, is that you bring up a product, you copy paste a short link, and then you can just share it. In my case, for example, under this video right now, if you want to see all the gear that I use, the microphone, the camera, and all that, there's gonna be a link in the description, and it's my storefront. So this is basically copy pasted in all of my video descriptions, and I just don't have to think about it. Now, if I'm reviewing a specific product, I'll put the link to that product under the description, right? And I set that up thinking, okay, it's probably not gonna make any money at all, but we'll see. I think my biggest, like it still doesn't make that much money, but I think my biggest paycheck from 1 month of Amazon affiliate marketing was like $600, and I don't promote it. You rarely hear me say, hey, by the way, go click on my Amazon link. It's just, if people are curious and they're scrolling down the description, they're gonna find it. So with little to no effort, I was making more money with Amazon affiliate. To this day, every single month I get a paycheck, actually 2 Amazon affiliate accounts, because I have one for the UK and I have one for the US, even though I live in France. I don't have one for France for some reason, because that's where my audience is from. Okay, let's recap real quick. So YouTube AdSense, freelance work, affiliate marketing with Amazon, passively selling digital products. So every single week I was getting a paycheck on that. And to tell you about the digital thing, during peak COVID, when everyone was losing their jobs and everyone was starting a Twitch channel, I think there was a point where I was getting $2,000 per week just for the selling the digital products, just for that. Keep in mind that when I started YouTube, my goal was to make minimum wage, which is something like 1,100 euros here, or 1,300 euros here. Keep in mind that I wasn't being paid by those companies for the tech reviews, but they were sending me products. And I This mic was sent to me for free. This camera was sent to me for free. This light that I'm using was sent to me for free. This one was sent to, a lot of my gear was sent to me for free. At first I was getting all the cheap stuff, but then I got recognized from doing DIY stuff. That's another story again. But anyways, that was 4 different sources of income. This whole time, I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm also getting paid by Twitch. I just don't count Twitch because it's super unreliable. I never take it seriously. I did it as a hobby for the longest time. Nowadays I'm starting to take it a little more seriously. But yeah, I would get like the $100 paycheck from time to time. Sometimes it goes to 300, sometimes 400. I would go months without streaming, or I would stream once a month or something like that, which was pretty good. I had a specific show to draw in viewers. Anyways, I don't count Twitch. So to me, that's 4 reliable-ish sources of income. 2 of them being as passive as possible. This one was the Amazon, and this one was selling the digital products. I don't have to put a lot of effort into those. All right, time for the 5th one. And that's sponsorships. I remember watching Roberto Blake, I think, that said that when you reach 10,000 subscribers, that's when you're gonna have like good sponsor deals and stuff like that. And I used to think, oh, that's probably not true. Maybe I'm gonna hit it first, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, the next day, my emails were flooded. I don't know if there's a filter for companies or anything. Now, 99% of the deals that I was getting still to this day are horrible, and I just refuse them or I just ignored them. But I was at that stage where I could actually get proper sponsorships, right? And now comes the time where you have to reevaluate how much money is your time really worth, especially with all those sources of income. How much money you want a company to pay you for your time, for the amount of work that you're gonna put for, I don't know, a 30-second ad, a 1-minute ad, a full video. You also have to pick and choose which company you want to work with. Depending on your niche, like me, I try to be as honest as possible. I really try to work with companies that I really believe will help my community, because my channel is based on helping the community. A lot of things happened as soon as I started getting sponsorship offers. I got scammed. I got offers by big companies, like very well-known companies, and still got scammed by them. I've participated in projects with a lot of other influencers, and then later on realized that everyone was getting paid except for me. So that's really a part that I don't like when it comes to being a content creator, is navigating through this thing. It's basically, the idea is everyone is trying to make you do the work for free. Everyone is trying their hardest to make you do the most work possible by paying you the least amount of money. And it is very annoying, but you learn to basically decipher who is serious and who isn't. And then you place your boundaries. You can ask for money up front and things like that to avoid getting scammed. I could make a whole video just ranting about companies, but I also had like very, very good experiences where it's like, hey, we want you to do this, and then you do it, and they're like, we love it, here's the money, and that's it. Now this is 5, but there's a 6th one. There's actually a 6th one. When you get a sponsorship from a company, sometimes you can get extra perks on top of it, right? So they pay you to advertise them, right? Maybe a 30 seconds ad or a 1-minute ad on one of your videos. Maybe it's a full video. The goal for those ads usually is to generate new users and to sell products to those users. But what I would advise you to do, and something that I also did, is to actually ask to have an affiliate link to those companies so that they're paying you to bring new customers. And the more customers they have, the better it is, the happiest they are. But also, you're gonna be making money over those customers too. So from one video, you get a sponsorship, right? So you get paid to make that video. The video is already paid for before it even goes live, right? You get the AdSense money because your YouTube channel is monetized, and then you get the affiliate money. So the video keeps on getting views, you keep on getting AdSense money on that video, and it keeps getting customers, and you keep on getting money from those customers too. I actually have a couple of affiliate links from companies that I used to work with or that I worked with once, and also from companies that I never worked with, but it's companies that I recommend still. Like, I find myself recommending them, and I'm like, might as well make money while I'm recommending them. So YouTube ads, selling digital products, doing freelance. You should stop doing freelance at this point. Affiliate marketing, sponsorships with an extra affiliate marketing from those sponsorships. Again, during this whole time, I'm streaming. And the last thing, I actually want to add like a 7 here. The last thing that I want to talk about is something that I haven't had fully yet, but I might do very, very soon, is proper actual ambassadorship, not the Instagram bot telling you to DM them type of ambassador. Like really, basically the goal is to be on a paycheck, on a salary, and represent a brand. So you do whatever you do, but you're an ambassador for a brand. You might see people with G Fuel behind them and they're like a G Fuel ambassador, or I don't know exactly how the G Fuel thing works, but it's an example. Basically, if I was an ambassador for whatever company, let's say Blood Hunt, right? That I'm wearing their t-shirt right now. You may not even know this. Maybe I am, right? I'm just wearing a t-shirt and it's like subtle, or it's just part of my whole brand. Of course, I have to disclose when I'm showing you stuff all the time. So it would probably be in my description, but I could make videos where I don't even talk about that product that I'm an ambassador for, and it's just part of my brand. Every time they are at a convention, I would be present. So it would be some sort of exclusivity contract where you're kind of the face of the brand. So they would pay you monthly to integrate the brand pretty much in everything you're doing. And that's one of the steps that I'm trying to unlock right now. The problem is exclusivity. Ambassadorship usually comes with exclusivity. That means that depending on the brand, signing that type of contract with them means that I never get to work with any of their competitors, which I believe is why those energy drinks, it's like easy to get ambassadorship from them, because it's like, oh, put a pile of them in the background. There isn't a ton of competitors and it's not like a huge problem for a content creator, really. Being an ambassador for a tech product, which is great, really. There's a lot of Elgato ambassadors, for example. It also means that, I don't know, if Logitech wants to send you something to review, you have to refuse, right? And if you feel like you would benefit way more, for example, I have a tech review channel, then you would refuse that contract because it wouldn't align with your goals. Anyway, so if there's any companies out there, you know, your boy is ready to be an ambassador. But very important, we're on level 7. Remember when I told you that basically your price, the price of your time is growing through all of that? If this is level 7, that means that it has to be the biggest paycheck. If it's gonna be a monthly thing where you're gonna be an ambassador and stuff like that, it has to be big in your eyes compared to what you're already earning. I need to be able to turn down other contracts without even thinking about it because I'm so comfortable with the salary that I'm earning with it. Oof. Now, without going into details, I want you to know that the content creator life is not necessarily easy. I am lucky that I am passionate about making content. I was before I started making money with content, really. I remember crying my eyes out when I got my first YouTube AdSense paycheck. And it was a check for 63 cents. Because it was the first time in my life that I decided to do something, art or whatever you want to call it, and I was rewarded for it with money. 63 cents. It is something that is absolutely amazing in my eyes. Again, I'm very passionate about it. I would still do it. People are like, hey, what happens if you win $500 million? I would still be making YouTube videos. Maybe not this type of YouTube video anymore, but I would still be making YouTube videos. People will tell you, oh, you shouldn't get into content creation to make money. You should be passionate about it, or you should love it first and things will... I have nothing against people who start doing those things for money, because at the end of the day, if money comes in, we're talking about work, we're talking about business. Now, I know my audience and I'm talking to you directly. I know a lot of people have been dancing around the hobby side and the professional side of content creation. And it's the beginning of the year, you know, we're in January 2023. A lot of New Year's resolutions are probably, oh, I'm gonna take content seriously, or I'm gonna try to go full time this year. What I'm gonna ask you is to actually evaluate the amount of time that you're gonna put versus the reward. Really find out all the ways that you could be making money online before you really choose one. I know that my audience, you guys are mostly live streamers, Twitch streamers in particular. I look at a professional Twitch streamer that is making a lot of money, but then I see them streaming 12 hours a day, taking only one day off, and then losing a bunch of subscribers that day. And I tell myself, it's not for me. I love streaming, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't handle that as my only job. And that's why, even though I make money on Twitch, I don't even count it as a source of income at all. The one thing that you need to remember is that professional means that you want to make this as your job, and a job is going to have parts that you dislike doing. When I was working, I hated waking up in the morning, but I was still doing it, right? I had that energy somehow, and I was making it to work every single day. I do YouTube professionally. I dislike having to search for keywords or having to type manually the timestamps on every video, having to do the captions for every video. This video is going to be a pain to do the captions for. It's probably going to take me hours, but I'm still going to do it because that's part of the job. This part right now is what I love doing, especially sitting down and just talking about my life experience and stuff. Love doing that. Editing the video, love doing that. Super calm, super easy. Love that. Reading your comments, positive comments mostly. Super amazing. My favorite thing to do. So thank you for watching. I want you to go out there and I want you to make me proud. Follow me on Twitch. Level out.